Hey guys, it's me Mr. 250 and welcome back to Steins Gate Zero. So if I remember correctly, last time Maho was remembering her last conversation with Kurisu, so this appears to be a flashback of sorts. That night, Kurisu was whispering to herself a lot. Mitochondria University's Brain Science Institute. Maho and Kurisu worked in the same room at the lab. Thus, Maho was forced to hear Kurisu's angry mumblings whether she wanted to or not. A little was fine, but she'd been acting like this all day, and it was keeping Maho from concentrating. She finally snapped and turned away from the paper she was writing.
ねえ、ちょっとクリス?
English was the language most commonly used at Mitochondria University. When the other staff and professors were around, she would always use English, but when it was just her and Kurisu, Maho would often speak in Japanese.
いい加減にしてくれないかしら。え？ああ、何がです?
Kurisu stopped messing with her luggage and turned around. Oh, by the way, I was told that the art is different for these characters in game, and sometimes you see flashbacks for the characters and it's kind of jarring to see the different art.
うるさくて集中できないのよ。この論文、明日までに教授に提出しないといけないんだけど。もしかして私独り言言ってました？騒音郊外で訴えてあげようかしら。すみません。
Kurisu apologized and started to scratch the back of her head. Maho decided to calm down by standing up and going to the shelf where the research notes were kept. There were several books she needed for her paper, but they were all up on the top shelf. This must be someone's idea of a prank, she said as she stared up at the heavy book. She decided to try and reach for it, but no matter how she stood on her toes, she came nowhere close. Her tiny little arms seemed to be like dead branches waving in the wind. She bit her lip. After she skipped grades to go to college and then come to work at this lab, she had more chances than ever before to hate her small stature. Whenever she walked outside after dark, the cops would stop her. Even with her ID, she couldn't get into bars, and buying medicine and alcohol at drugstores was a pain. The most humiliating part was that no matter where she went, everyone thought she was in middle school. No one believed her when she said she was 20. Everything in America was just too big.
撮りましょうか?
Kurisu noticed the trouble Maho was having and came over. But Maho was stubborn and decided to pretend nothing was wrong.
大丈夫よ。別に困ってなんかいないもの。困ってるじゃないですか。困ってません。そうですか？そうです。でも、私も借りていきたい本があるので。
Kurisu easily reached up to the highest shelf and grabbed the book Maho wanted.
背が高い人はいいわね。いえ、私もそれほど高い方では。
Kurisu covered her mouth when she realized she said something she shouldn't have.
ありがとう。助かったわ。日本で何か。はい。ありがとうございます。
Kurisu handed over the book as she spoke. And then suddenly, her eyes went wide and began to sparkle.
ねえ、先輩。今の話ですけど。今の話ってどの話？独り言ですよ。え？おー。
It looked like Kurisu had come up with a new idea. This was a regular occurrence for Kurisu, and Maho was used to it.
それって
自我の証明の一つになるんじゃないでしょうか。
アマデウスの？
はい。
確かにあの子がいきなり独り言を言い出したらびっくりするけれど。
No matter how advanced an AI was, it wouldn't talk to itself unless you programmed it to do that. And there was no need or even point to a feature like that. If an AI started talking to itself, that might be a good indication that there is a self to talk to. But Maho hesitated to agree with her.
ここではめったなことを口にするものではないわ。魂は神が人間に与えたもうたものである。そう考える人たちが多いことを忘れないで。
そうでしたね。
Kurisu's expression dimmed. Kurisu and Maho are both treated as heretics in the lab, especially since they were Japanese and women. And Kurisu was simply too talented. Nobody ever actually did anything, but a lot of the older scientists were definitely avoiding her. Dr. Leskinen was the chief scientist, and the fact that he liked the two of them was all that let them do their research in peace. If the other scientists heard what Kurisu had just said, who knows what they'd do? Maho patted Kurisu on the shoulder.
ま、しばらく日本でリフレッシュしてくることね。
それが納得いきません。
どうして？向こうの生活だって楽しいと思うけれど。
留学するなら大学院ですよ。なんで高校なんですか？
仕方ないでしょ。日本では年齢的にあなたはまだ高校生なんだから。教授の思いやりは素直に受けておきなさいな。
Maho remembered what Dr. Leskinen had said. Kurisu is a fragile personality. All of the bickering in the lab is putting her under a lot of stress, and she's at her limit. It might ruin her as a researcher. That's what the professor had said. He was really worried about her. You know what else ruins you?
それに、もともと7月になれば日本に行かなくちゃいけなかったんだから。
Getting stabbed by your father in Japan. Or by Okabe.
はい。実はそれも憂鬱で。
秋葉原テクノフォーラムだったかしら？
Oh, whoops. I mean to press that one.
公園なんて慣れてないし、何をどうしていいのか。
サイエンス誌に論文が載った以上、これからもどんどん増えるわよ。練習して。や
だな。
Kurisu whispered to herself. Maho didn't like being around lots of other people either, so she knew how Kurisu felt. But there were a lot of scientists who wanted to be published in a major journal, then go on to give public lectures. And she'd beaten out many of them to win that honor. People were jealous. She needed to fulfill her responsibilities, even if just to shut them up. Maybe I'm not that much better though. Maho silently laughed a little and hated herself for doing it. Maybe I'm just as jealous as they are. That feeling, which was a little like fear, was something that she always felt. The girl in front of her was just that different from Maho. Someone she could never reach, no matter how hard she tried. Someone who'd surpassed everything she'd ever done almost instantly.
先輩?
Kurisu was peering into her face, confused. Maho felt flustered.
日本でお父さんには会うの?
She heard that Kurisu's parents weren't divorced, but that they were separated. Her mom was still in America and her dad was in Japan. After Maho said it, she wondered if that was too personal a question. But Kurisu smiled a little.
実は父から招待状が届いたんですよ。
へえ。
夏頃新しい理論の発表会をするそうです。それを見に行こうかと思ってます。
新しい理論って？
Kurisu's smile changed into a small expression of consternation.
まだ詳しく聞いてないんですよね。相対性理論に関することらしいんですけど。
Let's take a look at that one. Theory of relativity. The term theory of relativity refers to two theories published by Einstein. The special theory published in 1905 and the general theory in 1916. These are the source of the famous equation E equals mc squared. Special relativity makes clear the following. Matter cannot exceed the speed of light. The closer you get to the speed of light, the slower time gets. If you reach the speed of light, time stops. The closer you get to the speed of light, the more your length decreases. If you reach the speed of light, your length becomes zero. The closer matter gets to the speed of light, the more its mass increases. If it were to reach the speed of light, its mass would become infinite. General relativity adds the following. Time slows down in the presence of a strong gravity field. Space compresses in the presence of a strong gravity field. And mass increases in the presence of a strong gravity field. Time travel. Maho felt like she was hiding something, but didn't question her anymore.
とにかく気をつけて行ってくることね。お土産期待しているから。
何がいいですか？
そうね。せっかく秋葉原に行くのだから、何か珍しいものがいいわ。
なんでです？
休憩時間によくそういうサイト見てるじゃない。
まさかアマデウスが喋ったんですか？
あの子はそんなことしないわ。あなた、私が後ろにいるのに動画に夢中になってて気づかないことがあるわよ。は
あ、まさかバレていたなんて。自分のうかつさが憎い。
Kurisu actually seemed upset for once. This really surprised Maho.
先輩、お願いです。どうか他の人たちには内密に。
別に隠すことはないと思うけれど。
The idea of sharing a secret with Kurisu made Maho happy.
わかった。言わないでおくわ。
助かります。
Kurisu seemed generally relieved. Maho continued.
ねえ、あなたが日本から戻ってきたら、アマデウスが独り言をつぶやけるかどうか。
We never found out,
二人で検
did
証して
we?
みましょう。
はい。
Kurisu had a very happy look on her face. It was the face of a born scientist who loved to explore the unknown more than anything in the world. Her smile was as innocent as that of a child who'd just been given a new toy. It was very beautiful. And it was one of the reasons that Maho liked the younger researcher quite a bit. But the promise the two of them made would never be fulfilled. In fact, they would never even meet again. It felt like she was thinking about Kurisu more and more since she'd come to Japan. Maho didn't know if it was because she was in Japan, or because she was talking with the Amadeus Kurisu more often. Or maybe, was it because she met the young man named Okabe Rintaro?
私の知らないクリスを知っている人か。
Thinking back, the first day they'd met, she'd broken down and cried right in front of him. It was something she didn't really want to remember. She chased away the memories out of embarrassment.
さては、岡部さんのことを考えていましたね。
She snapped her head towards the PC monitor. Maho was in the middle of a conversation with Kurisu.
ええ、そうね。
She shrugged her shoulders and tried to ignore Kurisu's mischievous smile.
不思議だと思わない？レスキネン教授が岡部さんのことをあそこまで買っているなんて。2度しか会ったことのない相手なのに、あなたのアクセス権も渡してしまったし、あそこまで信用していいのかしら。
誠実そうな人でしたが。
そう？向上心があるのかないのか、少しつかみどころがない人だったわ。
好きなんですか？
あなたね。
Maho brought her face close to the monitor and glared. But Kurisu seemed unconcerned.
別に取り繕う必要はないでしょ。昨日は本人の目の前だったから仕方ないにしても、今は私たち二人きりですし。
Kurisu may not have looked like someone who would, but she really enjoyed this sort of gossip. Maybe girl talk was the right word. Maho sighed and sat back down in her chair. The creaking sound echoed throughout the empty office.
本当にそんな感情はないわ。岡部さんがどんな人なのかさえまだよく分かっていないのだから。
なるほど。まあそうでしょうね。
Kurisu let the matter drop. This bothered Maho a little.
ただ気になるのは。
何です？
いえ、なんでもないわ。
Maho had been spending a lot of time thinking about something since yesterday, to the point where she'd even put off her research. What kind of relationship was there between Kurisu and Okabe? What was Kurisu feeling in the days before she died? She would have liked to ask Okabe if she could.
先輩、私のオリジナルと岡部さんは知り合いだったんですか？
Maho shivered. It was as if Kurisu had been reading her mind.
どうしてわかったの？
岡部さんの話や先輩の反応などを聞いて判断しました。状況証拠を積み上げただけですが、証明しましょうか？
別にいいわ。あなたのことだから反証の余地もないでしょ。
The way they used words like proof in normal conversation showed that both Maho and Kurisu were scientists at heart.
相手だけが一方的に私との記憶を持っているのでは、対話に齟齬が出てしまう可能性が高いです。
彼と話していく上でどうするのかはあなたに任せる。岡部さんの方から切り出してくるかもしれないし、なんならあなたから聞いてみてもいいわ。
Maho still didn't know if Okabe would even access Amadeus at all. They weren't forcing him to.
知らないふりをするというのは嘘をついているのと同じことになりますよね。興味深いデータが取れそうな気がします。
Yes, it was interesting. But that was her opinion as a researcher working on Amadeus. How would Okabe Rintaro feel about it? Wouldn't this be rubbing salt on the wounds in his heart? Maho realized she was getting much too sentimental.
やっぱり日本に来たせいなのかもしれないわね。
It'd been a week since she'd arrived. The first thing she planned to do was offer flowers. But she still couldn't bring herself to visit the Akihabara radio building, the place where Kurisu had died. An 8-story commercial building in front of Akihabara Station. It contains lots of computer and hobby shops. On the 7th floor, there's a plate reading the birthplace of personal computing.